In a world where so many appear to have grown up, a question lingers in the shadows. Have they truly matured, or have they simply aged? Hidden behind the daily routines, the careers, and the relationships lies a phenomenon few dare to address, a condition where adulthood is assumed, but maturity is merely a facade. This isn't about age or physical development. It's about the psychological chasm that separates those who truly evolve from those who remain frozen in a perpetual state of adolescence. Carl Jung named this archetype the puer aeternus, or eternal child, and it's a shadow that haunts countless lives today. We live in an age where distraction is more accessible than ever. Many seek refuge in virtual worlds, gaming realms, or endless scrolling, temporary shelters from the harsh demands of real life. But what are the consequences of this escapism? What happens when we dodge the essential rites of passage that transform us from children into adults? Swiss psychologist Marie-Louise von Franz saw this trend emerging decades ago, predicting a future where true psychological maturity would be increasingly rare. And now it's here, manifesting in countless lives that yearn for purpose, yet recoil from responsibility. If you're intrigued by the darker depths of the psyche, if you sense that there's more to your own growth than what society's milestones tell you, then this is the place for you. Join us as we delve into the mysterious and often unsettling world of the puer aeternus. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. There's much more to uncover on this path to true maturity. Let's dive deeper. The term puer aeternus takes us back to the depths of Roman mythology, where it referred to a child deity who defied time, forever young, forever untouched by the burden of growth. While it may seem like a beautiful concept, who wouldn't want to remain youthful, untouched by the struggles of age? Carl Jung recognized it as something far darker. He saw within it a powerful archetype that, if left unchecked, traps individuals in a state of perpetual adolescence, keeping them bound to the comforts of childhood while the responsibilities of adulthood loom ever closer. Today, this phenomenon has become more than an ancient myth. It's a prevalent issue impacting countless lives in modern society. For young men, especially in Western cultures, the allure of staying in the realm of adolescence is strong. The pressures of adulthood, independence, self-reliance, purpose, seem to demand far more than many feel prepared to give. And so, many retreat to the familiar, refusing to sever the threads that tie them to their younger selves. The symptoms may vary, but the essence is the same. Individuals who, despite their physical age, remain psychologically tethered to a time when life was simpler, challenges were few, and the demands of reality could be ignored. But what are the true costs of this prolonged adolescence? The mythological puer aeternus may have symbolized eternal youth. Yet in our modern reality, this resistance to growth has serious consequences. It delays personal fulfillment, sabotages potential, and leaves a lingering emptiness that no amount of escapism can truly fill. In Jung's view, and in the insights of his students, particularly Marie-Louise von Franz, the puer aeternus is not just a quirky phase or a harmless delay in maturity. It's a psychological trap, a shadow that calls us to dive deeper, to confront it, and ultimately to break free. Decades ago, Marie-Louise von Franz, a close associate of Carl Jung, observed a silent storm gathering on the horizon of Western society. She foresaw a time when psychological immaturity would be more than an individual struggle. It would become a collective crisis, a cultural epidemic. In her studies and lectures, beginning as early as 1959, von Franz predicted that many young men in particular would reach physical adulthood but remained psychologically anchored in adolescence. Her insights were bold, almost prophetic, anticipating a future where societal structures would fail to usher young people into the responsibilities and realities of true adulthood. What von Franz predicted has come to pass. In our current era, more and more young adults are reluctant to embrace the milestones that have traditionally marked independence. Moving out, forming families, establishing careers. Instead, they choose to remain in a state of suspended transition, avoiding the commitments that would pull them out of their comfort zones. Von Franz warned that this attachment to a prolonged adolescence would only deepen over time, affecting not just individuals but the fabric of society itself, as fewer people take on the challenges that build resilience, purpose, and personal power. Von Franz's message was not merely a critique but a call to action. Her words remind us that maturity cannot be achieved passively. It requires an intentional journey of self-exploration and the courage to step into the unknown. She encouraged individuals to recognize the cost of delay, the weight of a life lived in the shadows of unfulfilled potential. And as we see her predictions unfold today, her insights offer us a clear choice: to remain as we are, or to confront the difficult but necessary path to true psychological adulthood. At the heart of the puer aeternus syndrome lies an attachment that many find challenging to acknowledge, a deep, often unconscious psychological dependency on the mother. Jungian psychology identifies this attachment as the maternal complex, a bond that, while nurturing in childhood, can become a barrier to independence if left unaddressed. For many young men, this complex acts like an invisible tether, holding them back from embracing the risks and responsibilities of adulthood. Louise von Franz argued that when this connection becomes overly dependent or smothering, it can inhibit the individual's ability to develop a secure and separate identity, leaving them stranded in the realm of adolescent fears and fantasies. This bond, unbroken, leaves many reluctant to face life's trials without the comfort of maternal support. It can manifest in subtle but significant ways: fear of failure, avoidance of risk, or a reluctance to make independent choices. The maternal complex, though rooted in a nurturing relationship, paradoxically fosters a reluctance to detach, to explore, to take ownership of one's life. For many, the idea of stepping away from this psychological comfort zone feels daunting, and so they retreat into familiar behaviors and safe routines, delaying the necessary confrontation with independence. The result of this dependency is a kind of arrested development, where the promise of adulthood is held captive by the desire for safety. The maternal complex binds an individual to a world where life's challenges are perpetually deferred and personal growth remains stunted. Jungian thought suggests that breaking free of this complex requires conscious effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to sever the emotional ties that prevent us from moving forward. To mature is to recognize the complex, to understand its influence, and ultimately, to outgrow it, stepping boldly into the world as an independent, self-reliant individual. In the journey from adolescence to adulthood, father figures and initiation rites have historically played a crucial role. Across cultures, these rites symbolized a vital transition, one where young men were guided out of the shadows of childhood dependency and into the light of personal responsibility. Initiation rituals were often led by elder male figures who embodied resilience, wisdom, and strength. These rites physically and psychologically marked the end of childhood, helping young men establish independence and develop a sense of purpose separate from the maternal sphere. But in modern society, these powerful rites of passage have all but disappeared, leaving a void where direction and mentorship once existed. In Jungian psychology, the father figure symbolizes authority, discipline, and the drive to create a purposeful life. When this figure is absent, whether physically, emotionally, or symbolically, the individual is left without a guiding force to encourage the journey towards self-sufficiency. Without a strong fatherly presence, young men can struggle to embrace responsibility, often remaining tethered to the comforts and dependencies of adolescence. The absence of this masculine archetype makes the transition into adulthood all the more challenging, as there is no model to demonstrate resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Without these guiding figures and traditional rites, young men today must navigate adulthood without a clear framework. They are often left to seek initiation through life's experiences, trial and error, or by finding mentors outside the family structure. Yet the influence of a father figure or a structured rite of passage remains irreplaceable. It provides not only a moment of recognition for the individual's emerging adulthood, but also a powerful psychological separation from childhood dependencies. To embrace maturity is to step fully into one's own strength, facing the unknown with courage, a journey that, traditionally, was both ignited and reinforced by these powerful rites of passage and the steady hand of a guiding father figure. In today's digital era, countless young adults find an alluring escape from the demands of reality within virtual realms. Video games, social media, and online content that offer instant gratification. These virtual comforts provide a temporary reprieve, a space where one can avoid life's responsibilities and challenges. However, while these digital escapes might soothe in the short term, they ultimately prolong the state of dependency, fostering an environment where growth is stunted and maturity is continually postponed. The more individuals indulge in these distractions, the less they engage with the real-world experiences that cultivate resilience, independence, and depth. This dependence on virtual realities creates a cycle of avoidance, reinforcing a passive approach to life where true challenges are dodged in favor of easily accessible rewards. In the absence of meaningful goals, these temporary pleasures fill a void that only real-life purpose can truly satisfy. Jungian thought suggests that such dependencies are more than mere distractions. They are symptoms of the deeper issue of the puer aeternus, the refusal to step into adulthood. True psychological growth can only occur by breaking free from these escapes and confronting life's demands directly, forging one's identity in the fires of real experience. Addressing the puer aeternus is not simply about abandoning comfort, but about cultivating a conscious willingness to step into life's challenges. Carl Jung and Louise von Franz believed that overcoming this syndrome begins with self-awareness, recognizing the patterns of dependency and avoidance that keep one tethered to adolescence. This process requires courage, as it involves dismantling attachments to both emotional comforts and the security of familiar routines. For those trapped in the puer aeternus, personal growth means learning to embrace uncertainty, to accept failure as part of the journey, and to seek meaning beyond immediate gratification. The path out of the puer aeternus requires a commitment to resilience, personal responsibility, and intentional action. Jungian psychologists urge individuals to confront their dependencies, to seek out mentors or support systems that encourage growth, and to set goals that align with a mature and independent identity. This journey is both an internal and external process, one that challenges individuals to transform their fears and insecurities into strengths, creating lives of depth, purpose, and fulfillment. Only by facing these inner shadows can one break free from the puer aeternus and emerge as a fully realized adult, ready to contribute meaningfully to the world. The puer aeternus syndrome is more than a personal struggle. It's a profound challenge affecting countless lives today. Carl Jung and Louise von Franz offered not only a diagnosis, but a pathway forward, a call to break free from dependency, to confront our fears, and to step into the unknown with resilience and purpose. In a world that tempts us with endless distractions and comforts, the journey to genuine adulthood requires intentional effort and self-awareness. Embracing this path allows us to build meaningful lives, grounded in independence, depth, and true fulfillment. It's a choice to live in the shadows of eternal adolescence or to step fully into the power and responsibility of mature adulthood.